Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Good morning, children. assholeconsulting.com. Time to get to work. I am currently a third-year union apprentice electrician that's stuck in too easy of a life. Graduated from high school with a 4.0 GPA and from college with a 4.0 GPA in electrical technology, 2-year degree. I'm now 22, no debt, a fiance who's a nurse, and I have an average IQ of 132 from multiple scoring sites. I currently have almost zero stress. I work out religiously. I make $24 an hour with yearly pay raises. And I enjoy going to work most of the days because I get to work with my hands and there isn't any corporate bullshit on construction sites. However, the work is extremely easy without my brain being stressed very much. I have read Curse of the High IQ too. I'm deliberating about going back to college to acquire an electrical engineering degree. I feel like I'm wasting every day by not using my brain to its full potential. I want to learn and use more electrical knowledge every day. Is it worth it to go into debt and use 3 years of my life to get an electrical engineering degree, or should I just shut the hell up and enjoy the situation I've worked myself into? Or should I just find something on the side like programming, etc.? Thanks, asshole. I've been listening to your channel since 2014, and you kept my 17-year-old self from going to college for a finance degree. Thank God. Damn, boy, am I a good person. 3 cheers for me. Yay, yay, yay. All right. I asked, well, how much more money would you make if you become a master electrician? Or whatever level you'd achieve if you put that 3 years towards your electrical career. And do you have any intellectual interest in becoming an electrical engineer? So wait, when was this? 2014, so you're 22 now. All you've known is working an electrical gig. I'll be a journeyman electrician in 3 years, making about $44 an hour. I'm very interested in learning hard electrical concepts and being intellectually stimulated more. Payment said, all right, here's the problem, kid. You're going to be, really? The alarm's going to go off now. You are going to be in search for intellectual stimulation for the rest of your life. And that is a scratch that will likely never be, or an itch that will likely never be scratched. And you can pursue various intellectual endeavors, an electrical engineering degree, but it's probably not going to be enough, because let's say you become an electrical engineer. Go watch Matt Tran's channel, Engineered Truth, and he interviews different types of engineers and people in professions. I'm sure he has one, but the short version of it is that when you become an engineer, you're just going to sit there in front of a desk, moving mouses and looking at screens. You here, however, say, and I quote, I enjoy going to work most of these days because I get to work with my hands and there isn't any corporate bullshit on construction sites. Dude, that right there, because I wish you had worked in a corporate environment before. I wish you did work with the suits, because you would realize that what you got, a lot of guys would switch with you in half a second. A lot of electrical engineers would switch with you in half a second. The problem is that's not your real problem. It's not like you think the problem is going to be, well, I'll find this job and I'll be intellectually stimulated. No, you won't. About the only job I could think of where you would be intellectually stimulated is if you were you got your doctorate in electrical engineering or physics or something along those lines, and then you were a researcher, conducting research, or a professor, somewhere your mind would actually be presented with a grand intellectual challenge. The problem there is the path to going that, you're going to have to deal with a lot of academic bullshit. And it's going to be 6 years before you go and become, a doctorate in electrical engineering, and then your brain is actually stimulated in the field of electricity. Which then brings up a good idea. Maybe you should just tinker with programming. Maybe you should get a hobby that's very high-end, intellectually, I mean. That might satiate your intellectual itch a little bit, but then it's going to be on to something next, and it's going to be on to something next. So I don't know if the solution is in you getting an electrical engineering degree. I'm not against it, and I have a feeling that's inevitably the route you're going to have to take, maybe take, because, where is it? I want to learn and use more electrical knowledge every day. Well, since your passion, I hate to use that word, but in this case it's used correctly, your passion is electricity, then it would be, the next step would be to go get an electrical engineering degree. Maybe it's you take some classes in electrical engineering towards the degree, but then you start tinkering and coming up with your own device, your own product, your own, you become an entrepreneur, you solve a problem in industry dealing with electricity that no one has come up with yet. That would certainly give your brain a lot to chew on. But in terms of what is structured and out there, what you could pursue, yeah, to be intellectual at that level and to be challenged, I have a feeling, you know, because being an electrical engineer, you're going to get, I just predict you're going to get bored with it. I could be wrong, but I predict you get your degree, you're going to go work, you're going to be putzing around in an office listening to HR people whine about some diversity or sexual harassment or another. Then you're going to be dealing with corporate bullshit, and then you're going to yearn for the days you were on a construction site. And $44 an hour, that's not bad at all, man. So there, I have a feeling you're just going to have to go onto the doctoral level, which again, do you want to invest in that? So the doctoral level, the tinkering and coming up with a new invention, maybe exploring your interests, seeing if programming would do it, something that's not electrical. But the only other thing I can think of would be becoming a master electrician. You know, but again, that'd be more journeyman work, or not journeyman, more construction work, blue collar work. But it gives you something to go after, and it's in your field. But yeah, I wouldn't stop at being a journeyman. I'd see what, you know, well, let's look up here. What are the levels of electricians? Journeyman, master electrician. 3 stages of electrician. Journeyman, master electrician, of course, it calls a shot. Person would work on his own, bid for jobs, limited, unlimited license, role, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, dude, that's what it is. It's going to be in that area, unless again you spend some time sitting down and trying to figure out something else that you'd like to tinker with. And here's another idea. Chad Elkins does this, and I don't blame him, and I'd recommend you do this too. You lack, see, unless you make the mistake, unless you've experienced it, you don't appreciate what you have. And I think if you were to go and get, I don't think it's worth you getting it. By the way, it's not worth you going into debt to get an electrical engineering degree. I think I would take your time, enjoy your 20s, enjoy your wife. Take a class or two towards your electrical engineering degree, but don't go into debt for it. Just take classes as needed that you move towards it. But what I think you actually should do if the opportunity presents itself is I think you should do some office work. I think you should sit in the office. What would be ideal is you're on the site and somehow you get injured. And I'm not saying injure yourself, but oh geez, you know, Jones is down. Oh well, throw Jones in the office, have him do some inventory or whatever. You go work in an office, not a construction office, but you go work in an office, or maybe shadow an electrical engineer in an office, and you see how fun it is. And then you'd be like, holy shit, you'll be screaming to go back to that construction site. And never you forget it, what it's like working in an office. I think if you do that, you kind of appreciate the job you have, and then you kind of understand the paradox that I'm trying to have you jump, and that is like, well, do you really want to get an electrical engineering bachelor's degree because it just have to be on the way to go to something more ethereal and esoteric and intellectual and get a doctorate? But then you'd appreciate your construction job. I do it right now. I just helped a guy stain his deck. I'm just like, this felt so much better than looking at a damn screen. So yeah, man, what I would do, I would experiment. Maybe you can work in an office somewhere part-time, maybe on the weekend, just to see what it's like. Take some part-time classes, because that will intellectually stimulate you. That unto itself will kind of solve the problem temporarily. But what you're going to do long-term, I think you're going to have to tinker, you're going to have to trinket, you're going to have to invent, you're going to have to innovate, and that's either in high levels of academia and research, entrepreneurship, or you're going to have to become a master electrician and go out on your own, become an entrepreneur of some kind. Or the fourth option, again, like, yeah, And there's nothing, what, you got time? Yeah, pick up programming. Try a little bit. See what you like with programming. Mechanical work, work on cars. And if your brain is really that go, I don't know, physics, study physics. It's a your brain is usually supposed to get you the job, and in your case it has, but then your brain might be a voracious monster and wants to be constantly stimulated, which I can understand. Binge on podcasts or something. I don't know. Listen to Stefan Molyneux. Tune into the Clary podcast. But no, man, it's a problem. It's a problem. So I think if you have that much of an appetite, high level academia, which is going to be a long journey. Entrepreneurship, innovation, create. You become an inventor. You invent things. Or you just get a suite of hobbies, man. Just a suite of hobbies. All right, wish I had a more precise answer like 42, but that's I don't. So, all right, links to everything cool down below. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.